What's up, yo? It's your gearhead, Mr. Logic, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure if this is your first time checking in that you hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with my lovely co-host.
Me, Nate, but I don't really see anything on the. Oh, there we are. Nice.
Yeah, it's a little tricky, right?
It is a little tricky. You guys, this is as you can see, Ben is not here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're figuring things out.
So yeah, it's just pretty much one of those roll with the punches. So me and Nate are gonna run this one. Ben, we know you tuning in. Don't be trolling us in the comment section because I know how you are and whatnot. We got Lewis on the one and Q's, man. So just to get off things, as you know, this is one thing for sure, two things for certain. All right, love, let's talk about your day. How's it been so far?
Oh my God, bro. This whole week has just been so busy. As you all know, I am in school. And let me tell you, I took a test like 2 days ago for my math class. I cried like twice taking that test. I was like, I can't get this. I'm not gonna pass.
That bad?
Bro, it was just so excruciating. I made the mistake of taking that test at like 10 at night when I was already tired. And I didn't study hard enough. And that was my own mistake. And honestly, guys, drop out.
Don't say that. People are gonna take that literally. I mean, I think it's so much pressure going on with you guys now too, especially because you got your job, you got your school, and then you got your personal life, your relationship. A lot of that stuff, honestly.
Yeah. And some people nowadays also do like side hustles or like little side projects, and it's all about time management. You just have to manage your time well. So this week was just busy. I just have to learn to manage my time a little bit better.
Okay, that's cool.
How was your week?
Honestly, my week, I can't complain, man. I'm thankful. And the reason I say I'm thankful, it was a little hectic, you know what I mean? I just signed up at the gym for AMP. I was looking for
I saw your Instagram.
Yeah, I've been looking for a 24-hour fitness like you wouldn't believe. Like, here's the thing, and I'll tell the viewers, as you guys know, yo, like, not to be macho, it's just like, yo, when you ain't doing nothing on a Sunday, you ain't doing it on a Saturday night or Friday night, the gym, like that's my haven, you know what I mean? Like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm chilling. So like it's crazy though because like it's small, but it's a dope setting. Like it's $10 and you have access to everything, and then it's pretty dope. Like it's enter at own risk. So after 9 o'clock, the staff leaves and you use your phone to get in and you work out. Do your whole thing. I just didn't think it would be that popping. Like it's all types of people there. And then apologize about that. Listen, I play Monopoly because I'm a man. Okay, I learned business that way. I learned how to hustle. No, so the gym was dope, and I'm just trying to get back in shape. Your boy is kind of, I was at 220, now I'm back to 214. I want to get back to 205 and get myself on point like a decimal. But other than that, so let's get into the topics, okay? So everyone's talking about 2023 Grammys. Now, me personally, I saw bits and pieces about it. History was made with Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Even though he was looking a little saucy, just saying. I know that's your man's and whatnot, your boo, whatever you want to call him. How did you feel about the Sam Smith performance?
I didn't watch it. I only watched the Bad Bunny performance. I didn't watch anything else, guys. I didn't watch the Grammys to its entirety. I didn't watch anything. All I watched were TikTok clips of Bad Bunny's performance, and that was it. And then a few little articles from like the Grammys and stuff like that. But
you literally just watch. Okay, I saw that dedication. It's fine. So the thing is, like, they're talking about the whole devil worshiping thing.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Yes. Oh, wait. I heard that Sam Smith got like an award for the new song that came out, one of his singles, the one that's always been on TikTok. And there was, I think it was Doja Cat. She was a little like, you could tell her face was a little sour because like, I think he won over her. Well, but that's the only thing that I heard about Sam Smith.
Well, that's the same thing with Harry Styles winning over Beyonce. Like, there was a lot of disrespect. They were saying Beyonce is the GOAT and that she deserves to win the award. They pulled a Kanye, in other words. Like, they literally pulled a Kanye. But everyone's upset because they're saying they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Like they're literally devil worshiping with the horns and the whole nine. If you saw the intro to the whole Jay-Z monologue with DJ Khaled, the table was set up like the Last Supper. He's calling himself Hove. So my thing is, what do you see? How far extreme do you think this could go from where it's at now? Like, do you think like that Illuminati thing is real? Do you really feel like there's a secret society and that the agenda is to push demonic Satanism?
So, okay, you guys. Now, there's obviously a lot of talk about all of this, the Illuminati and stuff like that. And there's also a bunch of podcasts who also talk about it.
Melanie
one in particular
just said, yeah, not cool. So I think Melanie agrees with us.
Yeah, there's one podcast in particular. I believe, I don't know if you know him, David Dobrik.
No.
He's a YouTuber. He's fairly known for him doing vlogs that are like 4.5 minutes long. Okay. And they get a lot of traction, a lot of views. He also has a podcast on the side, so I'm not sure if it's his or one of his teammates, friends podcast. But either way, there was a clip on TikTok. If anybody knows, like down below, please on the chat put it in. But he's basically stating a story time about a person in his life who was involved with the Illuminati, and mind you, he kept this secret for years because the high people told his friend, hey, if you speak this to anyone,
we'll kill you.
Yeah, basically. And so, but she ended up telling other people, so he was like, oh, so now I feel like safer to talk about it. So it's on the internet, you guys, if you want to check it out. But mind you, she got this offer from this big businessman, I guess you could say, on like, hey, what do you want? Anything in life. Do you want to be famous? Do you want to be rich? Like, we'll give it to you. You just have to like sacrifice someone. And so, yeah, my reaction exactly. And so basically David Dobrik is going on about how later on she was just very like scared and she would just kind of regretted like everything, I guess. I'm very paraphrasing the story. And so in the end he basically told her, hey, like don't tell anyone because like he will do something bad to us if we like tell. She ended up eventually telling 2 of his closest friends. And so this whole story is just like people who are a part of it, I guess, hey, do a sacrifice and you can have anything you want in the world. But then there's also the conspiracy of, what if this is all hype because people who are part of the Illuminati, like, why would you talk about this? Or
well, okay, so like when it comes to like the Illuminati and they talk about the devil worshiping, me personally, that's just real. Like that's just real, and that's just not even, I can't even say it's an opinion. That to me, it's a fact because we've seen it. The things they throw in our face, the one eye, the L and masonry, like it's crazy because it was always hidden. Yeah. Now it's like direct into your face. And you have to look at, okay, who are they targeting?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because that's really what the question is.
That's what the question that they had asked in like the other podcast, like who are these? Because if it's just like the elites or a specific amount of people that we don't know about, people who are rich but they are not famous that we don't know about. So now why would a famous celebrity be a part of it? Because then that secret could be,
And well, I know you love Bad Bunny. They talk about Bad Bunny a lot from how he's transitioning, and if you guys really follow, music and you see how things have gone, we've seen Taylor Swift go from being the good old house neighborhood girl to the exotic, dark girl. Beyonce with her Sasha Fierce and that being her inner demon that she brought out. We have the Jay-Z Black album, which has the demonic codes. If you play a certain track backwards, it says murder, murder, Jesus. It's crazy shit. And again, I'm not going to go to the point where it's like, oh, yeah, but who are they targeting? Are they targeting the kids? You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't put on a display like that without targeting somebody. And when I saw the whole Sam Smith stuff, like, I felt like it was in the gates of hell. Like, the song alone. Like, this sounds like Dante's Inferno.
But I have a question because this also goes into like copycats or
imitators.
Okay, so it's a little morbid, but I've seen a lot of crime fighting TV, and in my head it just makes sense. So when you have like a serial killer, their original works, and then you have copycats. And so when you do a lot of research, you think, okay, these copycats are trying to imitate these specific serial killers because they, I guess, have inspiration and they're fascinated, but it's never like to its original like point. There's always some discrepancy or a mistake. And so in terms of like this, I see it as, okay, I guess the topic of the Illuminati has surfaced now in day and age. And so I guess people, celebrities, artists try to play that as part of a publicity stunt to get people talking. Oh, are they a part of it? So what if maybe some of these celebrities are for clout, basically. Maybe they're not a part of it, but they're using it to their advantage to get clout off of it.
I could see that. So here's the thing, like, because of like certain things that have happened, like, okay, the Takeoff situation, right?
Yeah.
With that man, basically, Quavo basically doing the celebration and the memorial for him. Some are saying that he was sacrificed. You get what I'm saying? And then, if you, mind you, I know you're younger than me. I'm a fan of Tupac.
Yeah.
His last album, Illuminati, was basically an album made to go against Illuminati. That's why it's called Machiavelli Illuminati. And the rumor is that when, you know, Pac was with Quincy Jones's daughter, and I know I might piss off some viewers, but Pac apparently was very saucy, and he had to do an initiation with Quincy Jones, and apparently he said he had to, you know, Quincy Jones, and he wasn't for that. And that's when he was basically Illuminati through your body with a 12-gauge shotty. Like, it was really very serious.
Right.
And a lot of times, you know, they talk about individuals like Puff Daddy. Like, this is a dude where, if you notice, look at his track record. Everyone this man has dealt with is either dead or messed up in the head. All right? Big is dead. Craig Mack is dead. The original members that he started with his first record label are dead. You know, like, and if they did, like, Albie Shore is lucky to be alive. He almost died. So what is going on? Like, there's more to it than we know. The thing is, that's why I say it's Holly weird. It's not Hollywood. And it also falls with movies. You know, a lot of times, they'll creep you out. Like, if you go on those little YouTube rants and you see the videos, they start showing you like the all-seeing triangle eye and the pyramid. And it's like, okay, it's not that we don't want to believe the hype.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't feel like it reflects to us. Like, we don't live that life, you know? We're just the consumers. So it's like, okay, if they're targeting the kids, then isn't that more on the parent side of letting the kids watch that shit and listen to the music that they're listening to?
Yeah, I guess you can definitely say that.
You know, but on that note, I gotta say, history was made at the Grammys. Bad Bunny, the first Latino to actually do it. You know. Well,
so proud of him.
Let's not forget Big Pun almost took a Grammy home too when he was alive.
Yeah.
So that's on the Grammys. Now, we're going to get into topic of debate. This is going to be a little sensitive for you guys because we're going to talk about hurt people, hurting people, and refusing to heal. So I saw a video, and I want to get your feedback as, you know, being that you're a young lady. This lady basically said, why does it matter that if my 4 kids have the same father? Do you feel that she's right on that? Should it matter? Does it matter? Should it matter?
So I know life can definitely throw a lot of unexpected situations your way. You know, if you have kids from multiple fathers, thus having half siblings, I understand that some parents keep the children together, you know, try to establish a healthy 2-parent household, even though maybe both parents are not biologically related to all the kids, but they still have to have a family household.
Yeah, be a unit.
You know, I know that I was raised in a 2-parent household, but one of my siblings had a 2-parent household, but not, like, we're half siblings. And I can't speak on their trauma because I can't even imagine like having a parent that's not yours. and like not treat you like they're theirs.
Mm.
You know, because now there are some parents who are definitely treat their kids as if they're all of theirs, biologically theirs, whether they are or aren't. But in some situations, it's not always like that. You have a parent that does the bare minimum and doesn't really like treat. Like there was a story on the internet.
Treat them like the stepchild.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure it was you who told me. Like you were telling us about how it was a couple, and so this 16-year-old has a stepfather, and he loved her, but she wanted him to adopt her, and he was like, I can't do that because she's not mine and didn't love me, whatever.
And it was a fight.
And there was a fight. And then the mom was left like, wow, do I divorce him or not? So that creates a lot of trauma. In a perfect world, it would be nice to have all of your children with the same person. Like
but we live in the real world.
So if that's not going to happen, at least bring love, bring compassion, bring a good parenting style to your children in your life, because then if not, it's going to create trauma. And I know you're going to try your best, but always have that conversation with your child, because that kid is going to know in the back of their head, hey, this mom or this dad is not mine. But
so here's the thing. And before I go back on the conversation with that lady, and as I tell the viewers, I'm strongly against with the mindset saying that a woman who is a single mother is not worthy or valuable. I say it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Some of the greatest individuals throughout our lifetime have had stepfathers who influenced them to be who they are. Shaquille O'Neal, Malcolm X, my favorite, Tupac Shakur. You know, pretty much. I'm sorry, guys. Apparently, it's we having sound difficulties. Apparently,
I knew it should have been Black Magic.
All right, how the hell do I fix that? I do apologize, guys. Hello.
Anyways, while Jason is figuring that out, let me tell you guys, Bad Bunny's performance was amazing, but there was a lot of traction because apparently when he was singing and the captions, it said singing like non-English, and there was like no like Spanish captions, and so there was a little bit like of a discussion on that in the internet, I guess you can say. But let me tell you, an event as huge as the Grammys, how could you not have captions for Spanish? Unless they did that on purpose for clout, because it always gets them talking. Oh, how could you not have captions for a Spanish artist, especially as an artist as big as Bad Bunny? You know, this is an event that you plan way in advance and you knew he was going to perform, so why didn't you plan ahead and have Spanish captions? But then it got me thinking, what if they did that on purpose? Because then they knew that the people were going to talk about it.
They got defensive on it.
They got really defensive on it. So honestly, from the business standpoint, every time some company or some event does something, I always think twice. I'm like, did they really do it like this, or did they do it for clout? I don't know anymore.
I mean, so here's the thing. I think there's a lot of tension when it comes back to that. But sorry, we're gonna go back.
Go back to yeah. While you're fixing that, I was a little tangent. Wait, but yeah, guys. So if you can hear us, let us know. If there's still issues, please comment down in the comments. But it should have been fixed.
It sounds muffled, they're saying, so I'm trying to. I do apologize.
The audio is feeding through the wrong output. Sir Daniel, good to have you here, bro. But yeah, so, and it was amazing. And honestly, it was a little weird looking at the performance, because obviously as someone Hispanic and someone who loves listening to Bad Bunny and his type of music, it was like so much fun. So Daniel says we can hear you. Just go to the settings and switch the speakers to Black Magic from StreamYard.
I'm trying to figure that out. Again.
Yeah, so while Jason figures that out. Anyways, yeah, so I love the performance. But as you can tell in the clip, you can like go on TikTok or YouTube and search it out. Everybody was just there. Taylor Swift, I love Taylor Swift. This girl was rocking out to the music. She was dancing up in her seat. She was also almost in like every performance, people said that she stood up, she clapped, she was standing up. because she knew how it felt to be on stage accepting an award and nobody stand up for her. And let me tell you, I just think that's so wholesome. That's why I love Taylor Swift. She treats people the way that she would want to be treated, and that is definitely shown in like her actions. So I gotta give a props to her for doing that.
Well, okay, so we have our Lewis working on the 1 and O's, trying to fix that situation for us. So again, we do apologize, but going back to the main topic at choice is, okay.
Anyways,
women who have children are still valuable. Mm-hmm. Do not listen to these men, because at the same time, the type of men who are saying this don't understand value themselves. I look at them with the jock mindset, like high schoolers. These are grown men like my age acting like they're still in high school.
Right.
And it's really unfortunate. Now, mind you, is it difficult to be with a woman who has a child? Yes, because the child is not the problem. It's the parents. You know, the mindset is, well, a single mother, she's never going to put you first. She's going to put the child first. We know what we signed up for. But what I want to do is break that stigma. There's some foul individuals, just like there's foul men, there's foul women, because there's single fathers out there, you know, who are still good candidates. Go ahead, love.
For those of you wondering, yes, I do raise my hand when I have something to say, because I feel like it's polite. Anyways, that whole argument on, oh, if she has a child, she's not going to put you first, she's going to put the child first. Okay, hold up. Because even if you get with someone and you both have a child, that child is biologically both yours.
But it's easier to accept.
Right, but there's still the concept of the parents are going to put their child first, because I don't know how it feels like to have a child. I'm not going to lie. But I do hear countless times that having a child creates that unconditional love. So when you are in a family and you're married, you know, I feel like instinctually you're going to want to care for your child, be there for them, put them first, you know, and so I feel like the argument, they're going to put them first and not you. I mean, wouldn't you want them to put them first? Because a child,
I think where it comes down, and I think where the challenge is, men look at it as going into a handicap match, right? Because in most cases, as we've seen, and it's not to be, you know, foul, but if a man has a child,
I feel like even I just don't understand that argument.
All right.
You should want to put your child first.
You could try to put your child first, and you could be good at that. But the thing is, the fact that remains is men look at it as going into a handicap match. And I think that's what scares people. Wow, we're really having...
The video went out.
It's delayed. Hold on, guys. Again, I apologize.
The computer we work on has a very what's it called, a loose like cable. Oh my god, you know those? Okay, for those of you who can hear me, the audio is back to trash. Those videos of like the you know, you put the cable inside and then the outlet's kind of hoey because it falls right out because it's loose. It's a joke, you know. That's what's happening right now with the cable in our laptop. How annoying.
Are we sounding now? I'm sweating here because I'm like, yo, bro, I'm trying to keep it going.
Jason's EIT, so he's like,
all right, now we're good. Thank you, Ben. Yo, we're gonna figure it out. But no, back to what I was saying regarding in the relationship, right?
Yes.
And I can't speak for all men, but if the reason why I look at it as a handicap match, because if I was a single father, I'm expected to provide for my child. Versus a woman that's a single mother is looking not only for companionship, but a man who also can provide for her child. And I think that's why men see it as a handicap, because it's like, okay. And I've seen this from experience, and I, talked to a lot of individuals where they have been in relationship with child. You don't only fall in love with the women, you also fall in love with the child, but you also have no say. And because I call it a handicap match, because you could be with a woman who has a child, and if you're there long enough where you become what you would call a father figure, you end up paying child support to a kid that's biologically not yours.
Yeah.
And the scary thing is, as men, we're like, well, women decide to opt out of relationships 9 out of 10 times. So imagine being with a woman with a kid that's not yours. She opts out, but you've been long enough with her where you have to pay child support now.
Yeah.
Why would a rational man want to take on that chance? You get what I'm saying? And I think that's what the stigma is.
Do you think that couples should have the conversation of, I know it's a lot easier said than done.
Okay.
Don't hate me, guys. This is just from an unbiased standpoint. I'm just doing my thinking. Isn't it responsible to have the conversation with someone that you're involved with that has a child that isn't yours, to be like, hey, I'm a family guy or a family girl. I am more than willing to fall in love with your child, even at one point adopt them. I want us to be a family. Are you okay with that? I want to be able to parent them. Will you let me, start from there? And if you, I don't know. I feel like that's a logical way of thinking, which more than often not is not put in place, because I understand some of us think with our emotions. This is the real world. Sometimes that doesn't always happen.
Well,
I don't know. What's your thought?
Well, being that you say that, right? You said this is the real world. So let's cut back to the chick I was talking about originally. She says, why does it matter if all my 4 children have the same biological father? Ends up being each child of hers is a different father. That means she has 4 different baby daddies. To a logical person, we're looking at you. We're not saying that you're not valuable.
No. Yeah.
But the risk is too high, because I'm, number one, not only am I dealing with another man, I'm dealing with 4 other men, and God knows how that relationship is with them. You get what I'm saying? And again, I said it before, I'll say it again. A woman having 4 children with 4 different baby fathers is like having a car with 4 different type of tires on that bitch. You are going to crash. Like, it's not going to work. You're going to there's going to be problems.
I can only imagine how it would be like, like, let's say if I got involved with a man who has 2 to 4 children with 2 to 4 different baby mamas. To me, that'll be like, okay, that is very stressing, because not only do you have to like communicate and organize,
but you're thinking rationally. A lot of these modern women don't think rationally like that, because they're looking at it, well, it's my business. And it's like, okay, but you let a man shoot up the damn club.
Right. I mean, as a person who has, we all make mistakes, you guys, but we're all, I guess you can say, we're all shaped by our trauma and our childhood trauma. And so me specifically, I have been thrown in my face, like, you have to think before you speak. And so to me, like, if we're having a normal conversation outside the podcast and you get a little like, taken aback and you say, Nat, you gotta think before you speak, that will really trigger me internally. I wouldn't say anything externally.
Nate, you gotta think before you speak.
And so I'll be like, wow, I'm gonna think back to the old times, the old me, and be like, damn, did I just say something stupid? And so that's why now I try to think rationally and logically, because if I say, like, I'll always be held accountable for what I say. Okay. But I want to make sure that what I say is either factual, because I've done research, or if it's opinion based, I'll be like, this is my opinion. Like,
you want to be clear and transparent.
I want to be very clear and transparent, cause no drama, because I also don't like any confrontation or drama. It's very stressing, and I don't like being stressed. So that's why I am the way that I am, because of my trauma. So I feel like other women or other people in general, because like.
But here's the thing with trauma, right? Most people don't seek help for trauma. That's one.
Right.
And then regarding this girl, right? The trauma is, unfortunately, it's the kids that, that suffer. But and I'm going to be very real for the women watching the show right now. And I'll say the same thing to you. The greatest gift you can give a man is a child. And you literally didn't have self-worth. That's what it really comes down to. These women don't acknowledge their own worth, and they give it out to these nutting ass niggas, like these niggas that ain't shit. They're not dealing with men. They're dealing with false advertising, misogynistic bastards.
Mhm.
So it's like, yo, I refuse to be another woman's come up. I'm looking to build with you, not to be your come up where you basically see me as a survival base and see me as a get point. And that's what happens with a lot of these women. Not all, but in the majority of cases that we see, it's like, okay, hurt people. You have trauma. But why allow somebody, because you knew how the person was in most cases, and you still chose to lay with them? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have all these kids, all these different, and you want the pick of the litter. This is where it gets crazy, because these same women, and not in all cases, are choosing the 1%ers, thinking they still qualify for it. I don't know if you remember, like we said on an earlier episode, when it comes to women, in my opinion, their body count is like a credit card payment. The more bodies that you have, the more those late payments hit. And what does that ultimately affect? Your credit, right? What does your credit evaluate? The house you can get, the car you can get, the type of quality life you can get. That is a woman's body count, because the more that you as a woman go around and do with, the more you experience. And don't get it twisted. It's the same thing for y'all men. It's the same thing for y'all men. I got homies out there that love to sleep around and do their thing. But you know what ends up happening? They end up meeting the shorty. They like her, but they have done so much shit out there that they can't be satisfied anymore. It's not that the girl's not good. They tricked and they played themselves because they played too much. And now they're stuck comparing the last partner to the last partner to the last partner. And it works on both sides.
So it's like psychological.
Yes, it's completely psychological. And think about it. Imagine you see like these other, podcasts or these other interviewers that say, oh, you guys are a couple. And they're like, yeah. Oh, do you know her body count? Again, this is where it gets critical. And this is where I try to bring better clarity. To a man, no answer is going to be a good answer. That's why we don't ask you about it. You get what I'm saying? And that's what makes things so hard, because it's like, now y'all online showing how many bodies you've gone through, showing all these men that you slept with. We look at that and I'm like, damn, like shit.
Well, the argument now, at least, I've seen a lot of videos that body counts shouldn't matter. There's that argument where it's like, okay, why does it matter? I mean, I see your argument and where you're going. At least for some women, it's like, oh, because I understand that men care about body count.
Yeah.
That I get. I don't understand why they care so much, but
you want to know why?
I mean, I know why.
But it doesn't matter to you though. That's the
exactly.
problem.
So I'm asking you, do you think that some women, at least from your point of view, care about a men's body count? Because I know I don't.
No, but I could say that women may not care about the body count of a man, but they care about the caliber of women that you've been with. So
no, body count does not matter to me. What does matter to me? I mean, Jason, okay, so because of what you said about the psychological standpoint, I do believe that some men who have a high body count will get, we'll start thinking about, we'll start comparing, one girl to the next, and based on, I'm gonna get very technical, but based on like the variables and and that personal experience of that person, it can definitely happen. Majority of the time, I don't care about a body count. All I care is this person going to respect me, value me, love me the way that I want to be loved in my love language. And you have a high body count, you better satisfy me in bed with all that experience that you have. Because if you cannot satisfy me, that's a red ass flag. What were you doing? Why do you have such a high body count and not have all that experience? Maybe being able to satisfy.
Okay. Damn.
Tell me that. Come on, Jason, you got to think about it.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Because what if you start dating a girl, start dating a woman, and she has, I don't mean a high body count, but to you personally, you feel like it's a little high, but she's like, she loves you, she respects you, and she satisfies the hell out of you. But you're like, wow.
You want to know the truth? Yeah. When it comes to that high body count, right, is the same reason why if
she practiced safe sex, by the way, sorry.
That's fine. But if Homie Lewis on the 100s is messing with a chick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that chick he messed with. And that's the thing. Like, yo, we don't want a neighborhood chick, a jump off. And the more partners you have, it's like, yo, we respect privacy. And it also comes into the caliber. Women may not care about a man's body count, but they definitely care about the caliber.
Right.
Meaning, if he's out here sleeping with hoes and freaking nasty ass sluts, you're not going to want him 9 out of 10 times because you're like, oh, he's disgusting. Now, that same analogy is how we look at your number. When we see that, oh my God, yo, she got 30 bodies, you're incompatible.
Right. I see where you're going, because if you think about it, like, I'm all about, you know, it depends on the person because every person has a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
So in my age, in my generation, so if I meet a guy, he has a high body count, but
do you ask him his body count though?
No.
You have a man ask you your body count?
I don't think so. I don't think so because, okay, so as far as I can remember, no. The conversation came up not because we asked, but because it led into one thing. I was like, oh, I'm interested. Oh, what do you think about this? So it was a topic of like, what's your take on this? And so in my generation, so if I meet a guy has a body, oh my God, I'm sorry, has a high body count.
Take your mind out the gutter.
I'm talking way too fast. And he has slept around. I mean, like, most of his body counts are because of paid prostitutes.
OnlyFans. We're going to call it OnlyFans.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If it's like mostly majority, all of that, I'm going to be like, why? Because then I'm going to start thinking, were you not able to meet a woman?
You couldn't secure the bag.
Do you have a fear of commitment? Do you not like being in a relationship? Or are you emotionally unavailable?
Right, you see what you're saying right now?
What? Because it ties into that.
It ties into, but we as men
don't think about that. We think it differently.
No, we look at it the same way.
Okay.
But you're registering to the caliber of women that we sleep with.
Okay.
We're registering it to the amount of men that you sleep with. Because mind you, if you're at my age, I'm 36, there's no way I'm gonna meet a woman at my age who's gonna be like, oh, I only slept with 3 dudes. Like that's not realistic. I'm not gonna ask you.
At your age.
Yeah. I expect you to have experience. I also expect you to have relations. You get what I'm saying?
Because you have to be that were committed, intelligent.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, if you're out here basically saying, yo, fill me up, shoot up the club, what value can you bring to me?
Yeah.
Because mind you, it's naturally the way I look at it. This is just my opinion. It's me as a man taking on the risk. Why am I taking on the risk? Number one, get into a relationship. I'm the one who's going to protect you. I'm the one essentially who has to provide for you. I'm the one who has to basically be your backbone. And in return, you have to be my peace. You have to be clarity. You have to be the partnership. But if you're not compatible because you've been with so many men, what value does that bring to me? What value do I have while you're out here living your life? Yo, you want to be liberated? Cool. But also, if you make your bed, you lay in it. The problem is that whole saying, a key that can open any lock is a good key. But a lock that could be opened by any fucking key is not a good lock. And
I don't like that analogy.
But here's the truth. That analogy exists because of what you're able to produce. Women amplify.
That analogy, I feel like, degrades women and uplifts men for sleeping around with women. To me, that's what I feel like that analogy comes from. I understand what you're trying to say from the analogy.
But you said what I feel.
Right. Because it's not factual. I understand that it's not facts. That analogy can be put up to interpretation because analogies are used to explain a certain situation or a topic based like you using anecdotes or real life experience. So when you give that analogy to explain the body counts for men versus women, I feel like I interpret it the way that I just told you.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean that
that's what it is.
That's what it is. I just mean like I know a majority of women can agree with my opinion.
But if I may break that down, you know where you want to break it down? Women are amplifiers. If I give you a house, you turn it into a home. If I give you groceries, you turn it into a meal. If I give you sperm, you give me a child. If I give you shit, I'm having a problem. That statement exists because it doesn't mean that you're an item, and it's not to fabricate and glorify men who sleep around. It's to show how powerful and honestly sensitive you are. You guys, listen, I'm all for equality. I'm all for a woman being able to express herself, but there's responsibilities. You fuck around and you find out, right? We all know that shit. The more you fuck around, the more you find out.
Oh my God.
And that's the same thing in life.
So funny.
Because the more you do, it's like, yo, you ever heard like, yo, we did so much shit in our 20s that like we can't even do shit in our 30s now.
Yeah.
You fucked around and you found out.
Sir Daniel Benjamin the Slobbery.
Oh my God.
Says the analogy portrays how hard it is for men to get sex versus women. It's antiquated, but it exists for a reason. Yeah, I see your point.
So I got Tinder. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I got Tinder. I don't like it. And let me be very honest on why I don't like it. I went to Vegas, as you guys know. There's a lot of prostitutes out there. Undercover, okay? Like, it's scary. And then on top of that, there's something called women hitting the wall. And this is what we're trying, real men, not these misogynistic bastards like Fresh and Fit and the Andrew Tates out there. What?
Women hitting the wall or whatever.
Women hitting the wall. It's where women, here's the truth. And you may not like what I'm about to say for the women watching this, but I'm gonna be very 100. Biologically, women expire faster than men. Okay?
In what terms?
Biologically, meaning you guys mature faster than us.
Oh, yeah.
Right? At a certain age, it gets dangerous for you to have children.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, your body goes through menopause.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let's double down. The average age of a man who becomes a millionaire is around 54 to 55.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Men in their 30s are trying to get financially stable. But women is completely backwards because when y'all in your early 18s, 19, early 20s, you're out here partying, living your life. There's nothing wrong with that. But the terms of condition are different for me because I'm a man, and they're different for you because you're a woman. And what ends up happening is, and we talked about this outside of the podcast, where it's like, you can focus on school, get your education. I'm all for that. But understand your reasoning, your purpose. Because while you chase that, you're neglecting one side too.
Right.
And
that's if they want it.
That's if they want it.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is, women hitting the wall, they're in my age bracket. They ain't got no kids, right? They can't give kids because they're at an age where their life is going to be at risk. And if they do have kids, it's usually with multiple baby fathers. They don't qualify for the ideal man they should have been looking for since day one.
Right.
You
and that's if they fit into that criteria.
That's if. It's not all of them.
Right.
It's not all
because I know
of them.
there's a lot of women who don't want kids and do want a marriage, and they're happy with their lives like that, and that's perfectly fine, and that's okay. But yeah, I mean, women do they have a biological clock, and they do go.
And that's
because a man in his 50s can still have kids with a young woman if he wanted to.
Here's the truth. Men, if they do it correctly, gain value as we get older. Because we acquire more, we become more sophisticated. We basically, when we're in our 20s, we're either in school working minimum jobs. We're not there yet, but we have to create our value. You as a woman, you're born with your value. You're either born pretty, born ugly. It's the hand that you're dealt, and you use it to your benefit. There's not a woman who's walking this earth today that could tell me she hasn't used her beauty to get what she wants. You attracted your partner with your beauty, true or not? So because you attracted your partner with your beauty, you understand. I'm not saying it's a weapon, but you understand your quality that you have, And if you look at these women who are older now, they're upset with men going for younger women. But you guys do the same thing. Because guess what? When we were the same age in our 20s, you went for the older men. Why? Because the older man was more officially set up. He had his shit together. You weren't looking at your classmate in college who's 23. You're looking at, you know, the Gary who's 38, who basically got a smart portfolio, got a career job, and knows where he's going in life.
Who's already established. You want someone who's already established,
Exactly.
not someone you can grow with.
So as a man, right, I'm basically getting my shit together. I got my portfolio. I got my investments. I'm doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I aim for a woman at 36 who's 38 with whether she has kids or not? Because this is the truth. The older the woman is, the more likely she has a lot of trauma, especially if she's a single mother. That's why I said it takes a real man to understand that. Not these fake ass dudes who want to be talking shit, saying they're not worth it. It takes a real man to understand that. But to a man who has all these qualities that he has built from the ground up,
right,
it is easier for me to go with a younger woman who is more willing to be a partner than a competitor.
You see, I feel you know what? A lot of people can agree that your statement can be misinterpreted, because I understand you not wanting to pursue a woman your age or an older woman because of her trauma. But I think if that person...
No, me personally?
Oh, like you... Oh, you mean in general?
I'm talking in general.
Okay.
Me personally, I... Like, remember when I said I don't believe in red flags? I try to understand them.
Okay, yeah.
Because everybody has a story. That's just me, though.
Right.
But for the majority of men, they go the same route that women go.
Uh-huh.
It's just women do it first. And that's the proof. That's why look at the passport bros. Well, let's see. It's not that women across the country are oppressed. It's just they're giving men what they're looking for. And as a man, if I'm building my life and I'm putting in the work, I'm entitled to what I build.
Right.
And I feel, and this is my opinion, okay, say I go overseas and I find a wife who's submissive. It's not about cooking. It's about being a man's piece, having his back, not being competitive. As men, we're competitive with the world.
Right.
The world is beating us down already. We don't want to come home to you trying to compete with you. We want to build with you. For every man out there, I'm going to be 100, and I think I speak for a lot of men out here. And if you with me and you rocking with me, let me know in the comments or nod your head to this. Most men know they're basic. Most men know they're not a 10. But most men, real men, know we build for what we want. And we stay within our bracket. We're not aiming high. We understand you can't be a nickel looking for a dime. We understand that.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And that's where the hard transition is. Me, you hear me say, I'm a solid 4. I call it how I see it. Could I get with a woman who's a 10? Yes. But I'll settle for a 7 in the sense of she'll be easier for me to deal with and build with than dealing with the maintenance of a 10. Let me ask you something. You ever heard of the 80-20% ratio?
Like in a relationship?
Yes.
You put in 80, she puts in 20?
No.
No.
So you never leave your 80 for 20. This is something that a lot of modern women don't understand. The woman or man that you with will never be 100% of the person you want them to be.
The grass ain't always green on the other side.
Facts.
Okay.
They'll be 80%. That 20% is the bombshell blonde who looks hella good. She's the 20%. What you got is the loyal, liable car who will get you point A to point B. She's the Ferrari. We all want that. Realistically, we want to go for that thrill. But what you don't realize is while your oil change for your car was regularly $40, on the Ferrari is $220. You step on the gas hard enough, you got to pay maintenance on that engine. And I'm not trying to compare women to cars. This is just, I'm a gearhead.
You're not, yeah, you're using your interest as an analogy.
So us men, we understand that, like, yo, we're not trying to tell you how to live your life, but we take the load.
Right.
We take the load because guess what? The world is catered to women. Are women oppressed in the manner that feminism says? In my opinion, no. But is there an oppression on women? Yes, it's called the pink tax. We talked about this before. You know, you being a woman, there's no reason why you should be paying $5 more because your razor is the color pink.
Right.
There's no reason why you should be getting taxed for something that you can't control, which is your menstrual cycle.
I also think, there's a lot of, I don't know if generational trauma is the right term for it or more like gender trauma, but over history, there is a lot of oppression for women and for other minority groups as well, because other minority groups, also face this struggle as well. But, in this case, specifically for women couldn't start working until what? The 60s, 50s,
60s,
or like
1920s.
No, the 20s. But I mean, like after World War II, that's when it was like, okay, women had to work because all the men were off.
They were going to war.
But then when the men came back, the women were like, wait, we want to keep working. So then there was that, whole movement.
You want to know what bothers me about that movement?
Why?
There was a time in the world, and still amongst the other world, like if you go to like places like Asia, Russia, the Middle East,
everything is
certain cases like the women in Syria are oppressed.
Right.
They're oppressed. They don't have freedom and the liberties that you guys have here. And it's sad.
Yeah.
But while you women in the 1920s were fighting for their rights here, that was a meaningful fight. Burning your bras, refusing to shave, making a stand.
Yeah.
There's a story of, I forgot what her name is. She was a famous actress, and she got a divorce. And they said, well, how do you feel about divorce? She's like, when you get divorced, you finally stop falling in the shower.
You finally stop falling in the shower?
That's real oppression.
Wait, is that
That's a reference to domestic violence.
That's what I was going to say. Wow.
Now imagine that. Women have come a long way. But when women fought for your equality, it wasn't so you could be out here twerking and showing your ass. It was to show that the fact that you're one with us. It wasn't to liberate you guys sexually. It was to treat you as a human being. But now it's not, you guys don't even respect yourselves. Not saying you particularly, but women in general. And it's really unfortunate because, again, women hold a lot of power. We're just different on two different scales. Where your power lies in is completely separate from where my power lies in. You get what I'm saying? You got to understand something like, yo, dudes go to war for y'all. You know what I'm saying? A man in love will set the world on fire for you.
Yeah.
That is power.
I think what you had mentioned before about, being like a woman being your peace and like basically not your panic. That's like the saying. I know you're speaking in a traditional standpoint, at least from a modern standpoint. It feels very like a heavy load to put on a female partner to be your peace, because at least for a modern person who feels like we're equal to a man in terms of like, okay, we both have our careers, we both studied, we make money in terms of the house maintenance, we do 50-50. So if I'm stressed, I want to vent to you, but then after you can vent to me, so we both vent to each other. That's
a healthy relationship. That's perfectly normal. That's a problem if you can't do that. But when I say be the man's peace, it doesn't mean our love language is different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dejor basically said, you're his
peace because when he's not home, he's dealing with everyone against him. We're at war. Like, I don't think women understand how hard it is for us to keep you. Okay. Number one, y'all expensive as hell. And I'm not talking materialistic. Y'all expensive as hell in the sense we got to give you our undivided time. The one thing we don't get back. That's what makes y'all so damn expensive.
Expensive in time.
Expensive
Ooh, that's
in
a good
time.
way of looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Mind
right.
you, I don't have it all together. I'm just going based on what I've seen and personal experience. So what I'm saying to you is when I say be your peace, you could talk to me about your problems. I want you to talk to me about your problem. But also as a man, I'm looking for a solution. That's the difference. See, women, in most cases, not all women, when y'all talk about your problems, sometimes y'all just want to talk about it.
Yeah, we don't really want a solution. We just
want to talk about it. But us as men, we build our value. Because we build our value, we're quick to find a solution. Our love language is different. So for a woman to feel love, she needs to be feel wanted by her partner.
You know, this is so crazy because I don't watch the show Modern Family, but I do watch clips of it that are shown on TikTok. And there is this one scene in particular where one of the main characters, the husband, he is at a salon getting like a pedicure. Period to him. And there's all the women there in the salon. And so he gets a call from his wife and she sounds a little frustrated on the phone. And then he's like giving her a solution to something that they're talking about. And she's just like, oh, whatever. I forget what it was. Blows it off, hangs up. And then he's confused. He's like, oh, I was like trying to help. And all the women were like, she doesn't want you to basically fix things for her. She doesn't want you to find the solution. Vent. She wants to vent. She wants you to listen. And he was like, oh, okay. So you mean instead of her saying, oh, I got late to work. Oh, the traffic was horrible. Instead of me saying, maybe you should leave a few minutes early. You should be on time. I should say something like, oh, I know traffic sucks, right? And everybody was like, oh my God, yes, yeah, this and that. And then I'm like, oh, yes, because I know I would be upset if I told my man, oh my God, traffic sucked. Oh my God, this and that. And he's like, leave the house a little bit earlier. And I'm just like,
but you want to know why you feel that way though? Real shit? Because that's called accountability.
I know.
That's your kryptonite.
I mean, I know that I should manage my time better, but I don't want to have it thrown in my face by my partner. I'd be like,
but that's the thing. Women need to feel wanted. Men need to feel loved for a relationship to work. Mm-hmm. If a woman don't feel wanted by her man, she'll go seek validation from somebody else. That's why we get that saying, what you're not willing to do, another man is. So tighten the fuck up. But here's the problem. What's our love language?
Yeah.
See, y'all don't know how to love us. You might think you do, but our love language is physical.
What is
it's our love language as men? And I think I speak for it's respect.
Okay.
Sex.
Okay.
Straight the fuck up. Right? And loyalty.
Okay. Is that yours?
That's the majority of men. Here's why I say that, right?
No, but I want to know yours.
That would be mine's.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add?
Yes. I'll explain why is it to me, because I can't speak for other men.
Okay.
The reason why respect is given and earned at the same transaction. If I don't feel respected by you, I look at you as a threat. And the reason I look at you as a threat, because I don't know how well your intentions are for me. Especially if you're willing to castrate me in front of strangers. Respect is everything. Mind you, I got to give you respect too. Mm-hmm. But the respect is to trust me to lead you. You could trust me to support you. You could trust me to provide housing for you. But yet, if you have the mindset where you don't trust me to lead you, we have a problem. You don't get to pick the in and outs of the relationship of what you want to follow and respect. It's either 10 across the board or none at all. Yep. That's my opinion. That's me. The second thing is loyalty. Loyalty is the most extreme thing you could ask for a man, because we love y'all unconditionally. If you ask a woman now, in most cases, are you willing to die for your man or your husband? They're going to be like, over what? But if you ask that man, yo, you willing to die for your girl? Hell yeah, I'm willing to die for my girl. Without question, it don't matter what it is. I love her. That's unconditional love. There's no terms and condition to even debate why I wouldn't be willing to lay my life for you. And then sex is an important love language to us. That's how we communicate. Okay? When you start using sex as a weapon against us, that seems like a form of disrespect to us, because it's like, damn, yo, this is something that we don't ever want to feel that we're begging.
Yeah. Yeah. And DeJour said it's a yes or a no. With women comes conditions.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, say we're in a relationship. I'm like a damn rabbit. I'm gonna want to keep going. Mm-hmm. If you're not able to give me that, how can you get mad at me when I shut down? That's my love language. Just like your love language is feeling wanted. So if I'm not thinking about you and doing things without being Valentine's Day, say if I'm not getting you flowers just cause, if I'm not basically encouraging you, if I'm not motivating you, if I'm not giving you the most expensive thing I can offer you, which is my time, how well are you going to receive me? It's an even exchange at the end of the day. And that's where a lot of men, you hear it a lot with married men, oh, the sex went down. But then you get mad when he goes looking for it elsewhere. And that's why I'm not proud of saying this. I'm not like this personally. But a lot of men can have sex with other women and it means nothing. But when it's with you, it means everything because we feel for you. And when you shut us out, that's a form of rejection. And as men, we shut down. Mm-hmm. We're human too. We're not the Superman all the time that you think we are. Right. And I think that's where shit gets so crazy. And that's the disconnection from the traditional woman to the modern women. Just like I hear a whole bunch of men like, oh, she don't cook, she don't clean. My brother, you don't know how to cook for yourself? Mm-hmm. You don't know how to clean your own clothes? It's a partnership.
There are meal kits, guys. You can order meal kits online if
I hate that. Don't want to cook. No. Okay, we gonna get some coriander. We're gonna chop up some green peppers. We're gonna make some good food.
Listen, Linda, listen. Okay, when you go to Target, they have
it's Target.
When you go to Target, there's this section in like the freezer section. There's this very nice bag with a picture of the meal that you're getting, and honestly, I think that's great. If you also go to Costco or like BJ's, they have like pre-made food. All you gotta do is just cook it. Or like online, there's subscription services like meal kits.
Let me ask you this:
the modern day, you guys.
So, because you're considered a modern woman, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel okay? Would you be okay at being a stay-at-home mom if you could make the choice to do it?
Think
wisely about that.
Financially speaking, if my partner could provide, you could afford it.
It's not going to be a fraction on y'all. You would, right?
But I would definitely pick up like a hobby or like a side hustle because I want to feel productive and I want to feel fulfilling in my life. I'm more than just a mom. My answer could definitely change if I have kids, you guys. This is just me before kids. Okay. Who knows?
I'm happy that you acknowledge that.
Because I know a lot of people, especially both men and women who have kids, parents, children.
It changes the dynamic of the relationship.
But at least my answer for now would be I would want to do something. I'm more than just a mom, so I would want to do something.
So, but you're okay being a housewife.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that takes a lot of work.
I know.
That takes a lot of work.
Trust me, my mom is a housewife. Trust me, my mom, she complains. Like,
okay,
a regular Hispanic woman.
But she complains, but she does it. But she doesn't complain to start problems. She complains to vent.
And it took me a really long time to figure that out. Trust me.
Because it scares you. You're like, but mommy, why do you hate Poppy? Or like, it's like, no, she loves Poppy to death. She just wants to get yeah.
Bro, let me tell you. Okay, we're gonna get to Ben's question now, and it's like, but let me just finish my statement before I forget. So, for a while, I was like, oh my god, I was little, I was preteen, didn't do much chores, but then started getting middle teens. I was like, okay, mom, like I'll help you out. I would do it, but then she would scream at me because I didn't do it right. Or if I did do it right, she'd be like if she wanted to do it. Yeah, or she would already get it done and I'd be like, but you already got it done. What do you mean? And so it took me now, at least until early adulthood, to realize that like let's say I do my own laundry, I clean my own room. It's like as if my parents are my roommates, I'm feeling more independent, but I still like the family time. And so I have realized now that my mom, she'll sometimes come into my room and she'll be like, do you want something to eat? ¿Quieres algo de comer?
She's
this and that.
Loving.
Come más. And then I'm just like, Mom, I already ate. Or, oh, you know what? I'll eat some food. And it's like she loves to cook and she loves to clean, but when she does it so much, it's an expression
of her feelings. She exhausts
overwhelms.
herself. Yeah. But you see what she does for you? That's what men want. Yeah. We don't want her to be our slave, but that genuine, Poppy, you hungry? Poppy, did you eat today?
To be
taken care of. Honestly, in a sense of a sincere level like that, that's what men are looking from women.
It's like
you can't get that.
It's like when you're a kid, you experience that from like your parents. So like when you're older, you kind of.
That's a great woman.
Yeah.
All right. So
what Ben said.
Do you consider wanting to date a younger woman a form of grooming?
That's what I was thinking earlier.
DiCaprio.
Oh my god,
bro, he's creepy, bro.
I was gonna when I had told you, I was like, oh, do you argue that, and then I went something further, but then I kind of lost my train of thought. That's exactly what I wanted to ask you, because men who want to date younger women, I understand not wanting to date an older woman because of like trauma or whatever, but think about like this.
It's to a certain degree.
To a certain degree, date a person, like if you, someone who's the same age as you or older than you, if they have trauma, who doesn't have trauma? But do they know how to take care of it? Are they
passively narcissist or narcissist who's just moving on to the next?
These are things to take into consideration, because that statement that you said, in my head, I think, oh my God, that's a form of grooming. Like, younger women are into their early adulthood stage and they don't know how to adult 100%. Adulting for me, I'm not at 100 yet, but I'm trying every day and I'm doing my best. And so that's why I don't want to date an older man, because it's like, I don't want a man to do things for me. I want to be able to do things for myself. Because when I'm older and something happens to my partner, I want to be able to take care of myself.
There's nothing wrong with that, but that's where it comes down to the communication.
Right.
And this is where I could say, not to go detail into my personal life, but I taught my ex how to change a tire, taught her how to do things.
Right.
Your partner is supposed to motivate you.
Yeah.
As a partner, it's like if me and you are in a relationship, my job is to make you strong enough where you don't need me, so I know you want me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what the ideal thing is to go for. Now, when it comes to this whole grooming thing, let me be honest. Leonardo's what, 48 years old? This new chick is 19.
Bro.
Here's where I have a problem with this is Holly weird. Not real life. We don't know what that life's about, but I can tell you this. In his case, in my opinion, that is grooming. And the reason I say that is grooming, that girl don't even got her liquor license, bro. You're 48 years old. Grow up. Grow up.
Are you gonna go public with this person? I don't know what it's like to live as a celebrity life. You know, you're Leonardo DiCaprio. You can pull some strings. You could probably get her into a place that's Sony on Plus. I don't know, but I mean, like, sure.
But
I don't know.
Listen. Someone said my cat is older than Leonardo DiCaprio's freaking girlfriend, and I'm just like, yo, again, but at the same time, is it grooming? Well, I don't want to contradict myself, but I said, what did I say earlier? In my 30s, I'm more likely to go for a younger woman, right? Versus a woman, maybe not me, but men in general in my age bracket who are set up financially well are more likely to go for a young woman. Why? Because they're more appreciative, less trauma, less shit to deal with. Let's say Leonardo.
Do they know how to cook? Do they know, like, if that's what they're looking for, if they're in a traditional mindset? I don't know about you, but when I was 19, I don't know how to cook like my mom.
You don't have to. That's the point. Are you willing to learn? I have homies out here, homegirls who are older than me. They refuse to learn. They refuse to even try.
Oh, the concept
and
of
that's where the grooming I'm okay with, because you're building with that person. Grooming is also building with the person. It's either you groom negative or you groom positively. And Leonardo DiCaprio's case, bro, you're 48 years old. The caliber of women that you choose, you can't mess with a woman of your age, of your caliber, because they're not going to go for that shit. So unfortunately, you have to go for younger girls. And it's working for him, but it's going to bite him in the ass.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, look at most cases. Let's talk about Johnny Depp. Look at the age difference between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
What was it again?
20 years or some shit.
Wait, let me Google it.
But in that situation, it doesn't always work out well. You get what I'm saying? I think there has to be within reason. This man is 48. Does he have kids? No.
Amber Heard is 36.
How old is Johnny Depp? 54?
Johnny Depp. Oh, I almost had it here. 59. He's 59?
Jesus.
Wait, 30. So that's 10. Wait, that's more than 10, a little bit more than 10 years. But that's not.
But you see, it's not that bad because the age she's at now.
Because of the age she's at now.
Because she has the experience. But here's the thing. Women who are younger are more likely to listen.
He does not look 59. I'm so sorry.
You're gonna go on Savage now?
Savage.
His little fragrance. What I'm saying is, women at a younger age are more likely to listen and be reasonable. But a woman who's up there in age is problematic. Right. Jasia, the grooming I'm okay with. Hold on, Jason.
It's not what you already know. It's what you're willing to learn and use. That's true. But he put on quotes. The grooming I'm okay with. Yeah.
Talking to my little bro, I said that an older person is more likely to have more trauma than an older person, especially when it comes to women.
You mean a younger person? That an older person is more likely to have more trauma than a younger person.
Think about it.
I don't know if that's what you
when you go car again, I'm a gearhead. We're gonna bring it down to car shopping, right?
He says that.
Do you want a car with high mileage or you want a car with low mileage?
I mean, low mileage. He says that because trauma is subjective. That's not true.
Trauma is subjective. That's not true. I wish he was here to explain that.
Yeah, because I'm at a loss. I mean, you know.
Listen, trauma. Here's the thing with trauma. You control the perception behind the trauma, right? And when I say you control the perception, is like, yo, foul shit is gonna happen to you, but how you view it, that's completely on you.
Oh my God, Ben's calling.
Oh, here we go. Put him on speaker.
Oh no, not the iPad. Sorry.
Tell him to call me.
No, wait, I got this.
All right.
I don't know what's. I can transfer things to my iPad. Why do I feel like such an oldie?
You know, you're getting kind of offensive there.
Hello, I'm so sorry. Ben?
Hello, what's up, folkies?
What up?
Yo, Benzo here. So, what I was trying to explain was that since I was talking to my brother, right? He overheard what Jason was saying, and so we were just talking about. He was saying that he was saying like how like if an older man goes for a younger chick, that's grooming. And so I said to him, oh, so grooming is only if you're older to younger. And he said, yeah. He looked at the definition of grooming. So there is no age requirement for grooming. So if you're coaching someone to be a certain way, you're just grooming them outright, right?
True.
We established that. This is what we established. Okay. And so then he was saying that, you know, like older men should just go find older women that don't have trauma because like it's weird if they go for younger women, right? So I said to him, it's more likely for an older person to have more trauma than a younger person.
More life experience.
This is the statement that I made.
Yeah.
He disagrees. He believes that because trauma is subjective, then that's not even a possibility to recognize.
Because in some instances, some kids live a really traumatic childhood and they can be younger, and some adults live a happy life and barely have any trauma.
Yeah, but that's a life experience.
This is what I'm saying though. Like what I'm saying is I'm not saying that more adults have more traumatic lives. I'm not saying that younger people have more traumatic lives or less traumatic lives. I'm saying that the likelihood of someone having more trauma under their belt is higher
when they're older
they are.
Yes,
they've experienced more of
because they've gone through more of life.
More opportunity for more trauma.
Agreed.
Like I understand that how people interpret trauma, whether or not they get traumatized by an event or not, is subjective, right? Some crazy shit could happen to you, and you're unfazed, right? Or you could live an entire life, your life was shitty as fuck, and that's your trauma. Well, what I'm saying is, and you know, like correct me if I'm wrong, because like I couldn't convince him, so in his eyes I'm wrong. And like I'm not trying to say that I'm right, but I would like concrete evidence and like to being I'm wrong. He gave me an article that was explaining how trauma is subjective, but it wasn't saying the likelihood of an older person being traumatized or having more trauma versus a younger person, right? It's not giving a statistic, right? Like a number. That's what I'm looking for.
But
it's
Ben,
an article about how it's subjective. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that it's more likely for an older person to have more trauma than a younger person, or because trauma is subjective, that doesn't even matter?
Well, I could prove your statement of how you're right. Generations have gotten softer over time. If you look at history and the course itself, look how the older generation of what they went through. They went through war. They went through depressions.
Yeah.
Like even us as a generation, the kids that are younger than us have not even hit the tip of the iceberg of just life, not personal situations, but life in general.
Like abuse or
like we're not gonna go into that field, but just us living alone.
No, because that's still considered trauma.
Yeah.
At least for kids or for younger people, you know, we don't get life trauma as much as older people do, but you know, you can still receive trauma in many different forms.
Yeah.
So
there's levels to it.
You know what just came to my mind?
What?
So I could probably say that because of this generation, we're more ready to recognize trauma than the older generation.
Yes.
Is why you could say that a younger person has more trauma than an older person. Because way back when was, you know, just shut the fuck up and
swallow it
with your own shit.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, who knows?
Wow, Ben.
Right? So honestly, it's up in the air. Now that I'm talking about it, it's up in the air, right?
Yeah.
But I still feel like, so I don't even say I think anymore. I still feel like if you're older, it's just more likely that you were traumatized or that you have more trauma.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying that like me versus somebody else, or I have more trauma, because trauma is subjective, but I mean
in general
traumatic experiences, not whether or not you were traumatized from the experience, but I mean traumatic experiences, mainly due to the fact because you were alive longer, lived longer, you went through more to experience these things.
Agree.
Whether or not you're traumatized by them.
Yeah, I would solidly agree with you on that. The more it's like, yo, you get wise by making bad decisions when you're young, right? They say a smart man learns by his mistakes. A wise man learns by other people's mistakes. The only way you could do that is through experience.
True.
So your statement and mine is what puts the staple in the ground that proves the statement. Yes, it's not in all cases. There's always exceptions to the rules, but in general, you're more likely to have go on through more trauma the older you are, because you have lived life. You have gone through more. You have experienced more. That's like any type of, you could put it down to materialistic things, a car, a motorcycle. The more miles it has, guess what? The more stress it's going to have on that engine, right? It's the same thing on the human mind. The older you are, the more you have absorbed mentally, and the more you have had to process, and there will be trauma along that. That's my take on it. Nate?
Yeah. Ben, we miss you. Oh, give such good valid points.
We gonna figure this out.
Yeah. No worries.
We gonna figure it out.
Good points.
But on that note, now let's break it down to healing. Yes. Because we could talk about all these problems. Why is it such taboo to go seek help? That's what I want. Mind you, I'm contradicting myself on certain cases, but why don't we open up to each other? You know, especially men. Yeah. Like women to me have a stronger support system, right, for mental health. Not, and no disrespect, I'm not saying y'all don't go through shit. What I'm saying is, I feel as men, and you see it in some of these videos, when you're at your lowest, who do you talk to? No one.
You know,
it's the fear of vulnerability.
Yes, because we don't want it to be weaponized against us.
Like Ben had stated before about, you know, a lot of younger people now, in a modern day, they're more aware of their trauma, so they're more willing to get help. Whereas I know a few friends that, you know, I mean, our parents have trauma as well, but they're not as willing to get help. And you know, I have a few friends who are in that situation, and it's difficult to see that and experience it, because it's like, we love our parents, our loved ones,
they're set in stone.
But they're set in stone, and they don't, you know, it's difficult to want to help someone who doesn't want to be helped.
Facts. You can bring a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
Right.
You know. What happened?
I'm nosy. What happened?
Are they arguing?
No. Oh, you know what? Oh, that's something else. My speaker's in the background. I am not talking.
Oh, okay. No, but
it's picking up
like,
on that.
It's like, okay, so to get help, right? And I think the vulnerability scares us, because the one thing is like, yo, there's lots of things that men want to tell their partner or open up about. But because we're basically in a situation where it's like, yo, we got to force ourselves to build and take it on the chin. I'm like, okay. The one thing a man don't want to be is vulnerable with his chick and have that used against him. Imagine being in a relationship, your man tells you some traumatic shit, and out of spitefulness, because women are capable of this, throw it in his face.
Oh my God, no.
But here's the truth. Not all women, but all women are capable of doing that.
But that's
and that scares us because you guys are emotionally charged more than we are.
But why would someone throw your trauma in your face?
Because hurt people
Sometimes
hurt people.
Just say things to hurt you. Like,
yes.
Have you ever held yourself back from saying something to somebody that you knew would destroy them?
Yes.
You know. So that's the
don't
kind of thing that,
I know in high school definitely, it's more.
So you're capable of it.
Okay, so in my personal experience, in high school, you vent to your friends, you talk shit, whatever. And then, I had this one person in my group who I guess threw it in my face. I forgot what the context was, but it made me feel really bad. And I was talking to another friend about it. And I'm like, I'm just not going to tell this person anything anymore because
they weaponized it.
Even though they weren't clear or maybe purposely try to hurt me, they just did it unintentionally. It still hurt, and that just goes to show that I can't trust this person with my personal information. And so when I'm hurt, it's like, why would you say that? I can just do the same thing to you. And in my back of my head, I'm like, I know this stuff about this person. I can definitely say this and that and hurt them because they hurt me. But
think about it this way, right? How many cases have we seen women who are scorned do the unimaginable to their partner? We see that. Mind you, we already love you unconditionally.
Right.
The person I love unconditionally just took my trauma, weaponized it, and threw it in my face. Do you know what that does to a man? We are not the same. Y'all, listen, just the way y'all program, y'all like drama. Y'all like those shows. Yeah, the novellas, all that. That's all y'all shit. We're not built the same way. Y'all, listen, you amongst your homegirls could go at your homegirl and say some reckless shit. And if I repeat that shit just because I'm a man, it's like when you say, bitch, who you talking to? If I say, bitch, who you talking to, she gonna try to fight me.
Because you're,
she gonna try to fight me.
I think the thing is that, on average, I'm not gonna say most. I'm not gonna say like a majority or any of that. But I'm gonna say a lot of women are they're more emotionally intelligent. They're more better
manipulative
at navigating their emotions than a man, right? And so when something happens that needs to be processed, it's easier for women to, or at least I believe, easier for women to express that and work through that, and heal from that than it is for a man because of, and I don't like saying this because I just hate the idea of it, but because of societal norms in regards to how men should carry themselves, it's desired that men be unemotional, stoic, be dependable, things of that nature, and and women are, they're more in tune with themselves as people and their emotions.
Okay, but Ben, let me ask you this, all right?
Yeah.
I know you can contest to this, and Nate, you could confirm this.
Okay.
When you want something from your man, you know how to charge him up. You know how to rub-a-dub him. You know how to play his emotions to get what you want. You know how to strategically manipulate your man into getting what you want.
I do not have to manipulate my man.
I didn't ask you if you have
because
to. Do you know how
he
to?
Never
yes or no?
No.
But do you know how to? Yes or no?
I mean, if I want some.
Yes or no? Do you know how to manipulate your man into what you want?
Don't do it.
What?
Yes or no?
Don't make her snitch on herself.
This is something that all women have.
Wait, no. Okay, wait. I'm gonna admit, if my man never tells me no, and if he does, I'm very reasonable, as you all know.
Yep.
But I do know the little tips and tricks, I guess you can say, to rub him up, make him feel good, put him in a good mood. If
there you go.
Like,
there
but
you
to
have
make him
it.
feel good, like
there you have
I
it.
don't use that to get what
you
I
don't
want.
recognize it
Because
but how many modern women do? How many modern women do though?
I'm gonna say this: persuading, convincing. Manipulating,
not the rat.
Let's be honest.
Wait, sorry. Ben? What'd you say? What'd you say, Ben?
Whether or not you're persuading somebody, convincing somebody, or manipulating somebody, those words are interchangeable. Because what it essentially means is you're trying to get them to do something they usually wouldn't normally do for your own or their gain. Whether it's not something good for them.
And men do the same thing. Men do the same thing.
Listen, even if you like convincing, persuading, whatever word you use, they're all interchangeable.
Yeah.
You're trying to what's the word? Influence their actions and behavior through actions and behaviors of your own. Right? Everybody manipulates everybody. Everybody's influenced by everybody, even by a little bit.
I mean, we do it to our parents if you want to be real.
No, my parents. That's
you know
a
what I'm
different
saying?
story.
Like when I want certain food, like Mom, can you make rice? You know what I'm saying?
No,
like
that's different.
We know how to put. That's something we start as children. It's like you test the borders. You get what I'm saying? But it's. But
I don't manipulate. I persuade, and if the answer is still no, I respect the no. I respect the no, you guys. Okay. But I don't hear it as often because willingly he doesn't say no. And that's my case.
That's all interchangeable, baby.
There you go. So but I think thank you for you're not right. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being honest. Because the truth is, men do it at the same time. We see it around tax season. You know how many times I seen a skinny brother behind the big chick while she buying the nigga shoes, dog. Hey, his boy can't even get his arm around her. That is the I got you to do what I wanted, yo. Like
he's looking around.
But
and shit.
It's crazy because we start that from an adolescence. You get what I'm saying? Like we know how to trigger our parents.
DeJour, what do you mean? If the answer's still no, what you don't know about that? What do you mean?
If the answer's still no,
like if there's something that I want.
And he says no.
All right, and guys, I'm gonna sign out. Got to get back to the grind. Okay. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, thanks for being here.
We gonna figure this out, cuz. We gonna figure this out.
No worries.
You feel me?
Figure this out. All right, you guys. Dolly, love you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Sir Daniel out.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you don't cut that boy off.
I don't know.
But okay, so if your man says no, right?
Okay.
There's some women who are pushy, but babe, please, but
Wait. It also depends on the situation, because if he says like a stern no, like, oh, I don't know about that, I'd be like, okay, I understand. If he's hesitant, like he's like, I'm not too sure, like he doesn't know about his answer, I'll like try to persuade. I'd be like, oh, maybe this, and if he still's like, if I give him more like information onto like why I want it is that I want, and he still says no, he's like, okay, based on everything you told me, no, I'd be like, okay, I understand. I'm not gonna push it any further, because then he said no.
Well,
what?
She's manipulating. Yeah.
No. Whatever.
Listen, at the end of the day, women lie, men lie. Men manipulate, women manipulate. It's a manifestation. It's how far you're willing to push the borders. Like when you're trying to test the ground, like when your mom or your dad says no, and you keep pushing at it, and it gets to the point like, yo, what did I tell you?
I mean,
at that point, you're like, yo, it's not happening.
DeJour, don't tell me that you also don't do it to like one of your partners as well. There's something that you want, you tell them, they're like, I don't know. You're like, oh, and more information. And then they're like, okay, yes, or no. And then at that point, you're like, okay, I respect your no. I don't consider manipulating.
It's how far you take it.
It's how far you take it. I would never take things that further with my man. Like, I respect my man. I'm not going to do that. Okay, you guys.
Well, on that note, I think this has been a great episode, yo. We got a lot of things to point. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe and like button. Let us know how y'all feel. Let us know what y'all think in the comment sections, yo. And as you know, this is one thing for sure.
Two things for certain.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That was good.